Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you with us for this exclusive webinar, Mastering Workshop Marketing, Proven Strategies to Attract and Engage More Prospects. In today's competitive insurance market, connecting with the right prospects is more crucial than ever. And that's where workshop marketing comes in. Whether you're just getting started or looking to elevate your current strategies, this session will provide you with the tools and insights needed to fill your workshops with the right people and turn those opportunities into lasting relationships. At Senior Market Sales, we continually see workshops produce the highest returns on investment, which is why we encourage all of our agents to pursue them as a lead generation strategy. Recognizing the power of workshops for building connections, we've created multiple workshop collections as part of our free client stream marketing library. This library offers hundreds of compliant marketing materials perfect for agents who are dedicated to investing time in their marketing. However, for those who prefer to focus more on clients and may not have the time to handle their own workshop marketing, we often recommend Acquire Up. This is actually how I got connected with Nick, our guest presenter today. But before we dive into today's session, let me introduce myself. I'm Olivia Bell, and as the Marketing Program Manager at Senior Market Sales, I've had the privilege of working with many agents, hopefully some of you are on this call today, helping them grow their pipelines through impactful educational workshops. And through my experience, I've learned that workshops are not just a marketing tool. They're an essential way to build trust, educate your community, and grow your business too. I'm also joined today by Nick Schmidt, a results-driven marketing consultant with Acquire Up. And Nick brings years of experience working directly with agents and guiding them to success in workshop marketing. He's seen firsthand what strategies work and what strategies don't. And today he's going to share some of his most effective tactics with us. Here's what you can expect from our session. You'll learn proven tactics to increase workshop attendance and engagement. Filling a room with the right people is half the battle, and Nick will dive into how to do just that. Nick will also highlight real-world examples of agents who are already excelling with their marketing campaigns because we believe in learning from the best. Well, whether you're looking to attract more clients or expand your reach in new ways, today's webinar will provide you with actionable strategies to implement right away. If you have any questions during the call, please place them in the Q&A and we'll respond to you directly. And without further ado, I'm excited to pass it over to Nick. Nick, take it away.
Thank you, Olivia. Wonderful intro. I'm looking forward to sharing some of our tactics here with everybody on this call today. To begin, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history on myself and the company that I am with. Some of you may have heard of White Glove. Some of you may have heard of Acquire Direct and Lead Jig. Good news, we are now one and the same. So two powerhouse companies, Acquire Direct had been around since 1986, specifically focused in the insurance and financial industries, driving folks to seminar presentations since about the early 90s. And then White Glove has been around for about a decade now and is a real powerhouse in the digital space. So combining the two entities gets really the best of both worlds. So what we're going to do today is dive into, some of the different campaign options that we have. Realistically, I truly believe that we are set up to be able to help any and every agent or advisor in the industry. And what I mean by that is all different facets of this space. There's Medicare, there's life, there's annuities, there's assets under management, there's alternative investments. We can help with any and all of those topics. We have two different models that you can tap into. We've got the custom crafted campaigns here on the left-hand side, and then we have the performance-based campaigns on the right-hand side. So custom crafted is going to be the Acquire Direct and Lead Jig model. Performance-based is going to be the White Glove model. So the nice thing is with us combining entities, not only are we able to leverage areas of expertise from each side, but as I mentioned just a moment ago, we're able to help each and every agent, whether or not they are looking for custom campaigns, where they have their own presentation. Maybe you've been doing this for quite some time. You've got this down to a science. You just need more help filling the seats with the right people. That's where this program comes into play. On the right-hand side, the performance-based campaigns are great for agents and advisors who are new to seminars, who need a little bit more assistance with setting up the event, meaning booking the venues, going out and helping with confirmation calls, making sure that people show up. And then the nice thing about this side here is it's a guaranteed model. So you pay for who shows up. So we'll dive into both of these here throughout the call. And then on top of that, not only do we help get prospects to the seminar, but we also can help post-event with our program, which is Nurture and Engage. So this platform is a drip sequence post-event. As you can see here, we've got FINRA-reviewed content, that you can provide to prospects and clients. And the really nice thing about this tool is you can take a house file of all the prospects that you've generated and or clients that you've captured over the years and put them into this funnel here. And we can create different drip sequences to touch on those prospects so that you're always staying front of mind. So half the battle, as Olivia mentioned, is getting the prospects to the event. But then the other half comes in when you actually need to get in front of those prospects that did not become clients post-event. So this tool has been extremely useful for several of the agents that we work for and work with, in the sense that we're going to stay in front of them with emails, Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, things along those lines, so that you're always front of mind. As we all know, this business is truly about timing. Somebody may be interested in what you're promoting on the seminar marketing materials today, but they may not be ready to make a move. But with you staying front of mind, they're going to remember you and your brand based off of the contact that we have had within this drip marketing system, Nurture and Engage, so that they know and they remember who to call when the time is right to make that move. So what we're going to do here today is kind of do a quick demonstration of our process and how we work together with each individual agent. This is not a one-size-fits-all program. We want to make sure that we custom tailor each and every campaign. Even if we're doing it on the performance-based model, we want to make sure that we're targeting the right individuals so that you're able to produce business, in turn getting an ROI, positive ROI, and being able to continue to do these seminars and fuel your business. So the first thing that we're going to take a look at here today is Prospectics. So we are a technology and data-driven seminar marketing group. With that, I will say that there are several ways to go about doing seminars. You can do them on your own, as Olivia alluded to just a minute ago. You can purchase a list from somebody. You can have somebody on Fiverr design something and take it to Kinko's and print it out and invite folks by yourself. Or you can go ahead and work with a service provider like AcquireUp or some of the others out there. Now, what really separates us from anybody else is the data and the technology that we're going to look at here today. So again, this first program that we're looking at is called Prospectics. This is an internal tool, so you won't have access to this. However, we start each discovery call with each agent or advisor office looking at your particular area. So this tool is really unique. I've been in the industry for 12 years now. I started with a marketing and recruitment firm, and I used to work with several service providers, Acquire Direct being one of them. When I saw this tool that they developed about 10 years ago, I wanted to be a part of it. I actually moved my family from Colorado. I had a 6-month-old and a 7-year-old at the time, along with my wife, of course, God bless her, for being brave enough to trust me and make the move here. But I saw this tool, and being the data geek that I am, absolutely had to be a part of it. So long story short, this tool is consistent of the 3 largest data compilers in the consumer space. Fun tip, this is actually the tool or the 3 compilers that the US government has gone to when certain things have happened, like 9/11, for example. they realized, hey, we need some additional intel on the citizens that are in our country here. So we have several different ways to slice and dice this data. And by combining the three entities, Experian, Axiom, and Epsilon, we're able to identify each of their areas of expertise in data compilation, whether it's ages, incomes, assets, marital status, homeownership, the list goes on, right? I'll give you a little sidebar here. I've got a client who's a big golfer. He noticed that a lot of his clients had similar thoughts and interests, right? So what we did is put together an event that he did at Top Golf, but he wanted to make sure that not just any Joe Schmo was coming out to have a free round and some drinks and apps on him. So we were able to identify prospects within a certain age range, asset range, marital status, as well as those who have purchased golf clubs, subscribed to certain magazines, purchased golf shoes, and things along those lines within the last 6 to 9 months to get them in front of the right types of prospects. So that's just a little example here of how we can slice and dice this and get you in front of your ideal prospect. So again, by combining the three databases into one, we're able to get you in front of an additional 10 to 20% unique records that you will not reach elsewhere. The reason I say that is because I know my competitors utilize a single data provider. It's usually one of the three, or it's an offshoot of one of the three. So with us getting the direct feed from each of these compilers on a monthly basis, we have the utmost accurate data that you can possibly get besides going to the IRS and requesting that information. Unfortunately, for all of us on this call here today, or maybe fortunately, we can't get that data, but this here is how we're helping agents and advisors grow their book of business. So most marketing companies will start out with a mileage radius. This is my office. This blue pin is where I'm sitting today. And this is a 10-mile radius. My house is up here. It takes me about 45 minutes to drive in to work during rush hour traffic. Same thing with these bridges down here. Great place to watch the sunset, but if you're trying to get from point A to point B, logistically speaking, it does not happen within a timely fashion. So what we've done is gone out to Google Maps and Waze Traffic, the GPS units, and we can look at certain days and certain times of day and identify a drive time radius based on historical traffic patterns that is based off of minutes versus mileage. So I'm going to jump over to this next screen here. I pre-populated this just for the sake of time here. What I did was a 20-minute drive time radius at 6:30 p.m. on, let's call it, March 6th, for example. So looking back in time, we can see what the traffic patterns looked like. So this strange amoeba looking shape that we've got here on my screen with all these squiggly lines is the radius that is 20 minutes. So it's avoiding my house up here because this is just log jammed with traffic during rush hour. So logistically speaking, we're able to get you in front of prospects that can make it within a timely fashion. Therefore, that is going to increase the likelihood that they'll respond by knocking down some of the barriers for entry. Now, I'm sure you all are wondering what this heat map blob is. So I'll explain that to you right now. So long story short, I came up with just a basic count here in the area, 20-minute drive time, ages 54 to 75. I ran with an income of 50,000 and above, and then ran with a net worth of 250,000 and above. So for one of the estate planning groups that we work with underneath the SMS umbrella, this is the exact data that they utilize with success. So on the estate planning side, that income and net worth dual qualifying blend seems to be the best. Now, if you're looking to talk about life or annuities where you're looking for some immediate liquid assets, we would probably want to look at income producing assets, which include things like your 401k, your IRA, your savings, investment portfolio, things along those lines where you can actually take that money and move it into one of those products. So we'll work together once each and every one of you sit down with our group here. We'll make sure that we're identifying the prospect universe that you want to target, your ideal prospect from a demographic standpoint. And then we'll look at a heat map similar to this in your area and create a marketing rotation so that we're not oversaturating the area with too much of the same materials coming from you. Now, this heat map that we're looking at, again, being a data geek here, instead of this being a Doppler radar for weather, I like to say it's raining prospects. And if prospects turn into clients, then it's raining money. If it's raining money, everybody's happy. So these orange areas show us our densities of prospects. So there's a really cool venue right here on this lake, but we don't have a ton of prospects right in and around that area. So realistically, I would say that we want to try and find a venue over here near this 551 or somewhere around this 25, 27 so that we can have a tight density right around the venue. By doing so, we're eliminating barriers for entry, again, increasing the likelihood that they're going to respond and attend. Now, once we've identified the marketing universe, we do this on both sides. We do this on the custom crafted and the performance based. From there, we'll go ahead and determine which marketing method you want to utilize. Now, jumping into LeadJig, this is the platform that you will utilize to manage and monitor your seminars on both sides of the fence. So whether you're doing the custom crafted, which is a little bit more, again, custom to what you're looking to talk about, or you're doing the performance-based where you pay based on who shows up, those responses will be captured within this platform. You will have a login to this. And the nice thing is you're able to come in and see who's registered in real time. So I'm going to give you just a brief overview of this, and then we'll jump into some campaigns and then talk about real life experiences here. So new opportunities will tell you the new registrations that we have generated in the last 30 days. So for the clients that I work with, we've generated 102,637 RSVPs since February 4th. Sorry, I fumbled there a little bit. I've got dyslexia and that was tough to read. From there, we can see the total asset opportunities. Now, for those of you that do Medicare workshops, you don't need to worry about the assets unless you do cross-sell the health to wealth model that SMS has come up with here. But if not, don't worry about it. We're not asking these prospects what their income or their asset ranges are when they register. Since we have it here on the back end, we're able to fill that in as the prospects register. So no compliance or violations or anything along those lines. Next up, we've got the upcoming events. So venue, date and time, total number of prospects registered. Right here, we have a section where you can see the total number of appointments that were scheduled. Now, I will tell you, more often than not, I typically recommend that we remove the option for prospects to schedule that one-on-one appointment with you on the landing page, because I think that it takes away from the power of these events, right? Why seminars are so successful is because you can get a group of like-minded and like demographic individuals in one area, display your expertise, present on the topic that you're wanting to present on, and then go ahead and set those appointments. Now, if you're just doing one-off appointment campaigns or lead generation, many of you know that it's a chase, right? So I don't want to take time away from what we know is successful, which are these events, by distracting them with a one-on-one appointment. Again, personal preference, as you can see here, I do still have some clients that leverage that, but it's few and far in between. Couple more things that we'll talk about here, source attribution. So we want to show you on an aggregate level where the majority of your prospects are coming from. So as you can see, direct mail really is the spine and the core of the business here. That's where the majority of the prospects are coming from. Digital is a nice close second, looking at 33.9%. And then we can also set this up to target folks through different mediums. So I've got a guy who does radio advertising. What we want to do with this system, let me just preface it this way, is show you where the responses are coming from so you can get a measurable ROI and determine whether or not that marketing method works for you. So back to the guy who does radio outside of our marketing. He was spending about $40,000 a month on radio advertising. He had his assistant sitting there on Saturday mornings from 9 to noon fielding calls. And he didn't really have any insight into what his ROI looked like other than the notepad that his assistant had with the prospects that called in. So what we did is we set him up with a unique 800 number to advertise on those radio ads so that he could see how many calls were coming in, how many prospects were requesting more information, how many appointments he was generating. Long story short, he realized that he wasn't getting the ROI that he thought he was from the radio ads. So what he did is he reallocated marketing dollars from radio to seminars because he could see that he was generating the ROI that he wanted. So if you do any newsletters or radio, TV, I have folks on the Medicare space that work with PCP offices, and they'll put up little flyers. We can set all of that up to be tracked within one system so that you can measure that ROI. And then last but not least is the top performing zip codes. So for example, in this particular zip code, 34481, we have generated 109 RSVPs in the last 30 days. If we're generating a response rate like that for you, and let's say you're a single man office or a two advisor office, that may be too much for you to work. So I've had folks that have been one or two man or two woman shows and say, hey, I'm getting such a great response. I'm going to go out and recruit another agent or advisor underneath my umbrella to help make sure that I can capture and manage all of these prospects and turn that into real business. On the other side of the coin, it'll show you the worst performing zip codes. So let's say we're putting 1,000 invites into zip code 32790 and we're getting one response out of it. It makes sense for us to have a conversation and say, hey, let's reallocate those marketing dollars and put that into a better performing zip code. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a little cold here. Now, jumping into an individual campaign, this is where you'll manage the individual campaigns along with the event nights here. So this is a test one. So the dates may not match up. However, this is what a true campaign would look like at a glance. So for example, this particular campaign is the tailor-made side, where we're doing direct mail as the spine and the core. And then we're also doing a retargeting campaign via social media and a retargeting campaign via email. So we sent out 10,000 pieces of mail. We give prospects two ways that they can register. They can either call in and we'll have a unique 800 number set up for each individual campaign. They will answer the phone with your particular company name. So for example, thank you for calling ABC Financial reservation line. May I take a reservation starting with first and last name? So on the tailor-made or the custom crafted, we want to make sure that we're branding the agent and the advisor and their business so that they get the brand recognition in the area. So not only will we do that on the marketing materials, but we'll also do that throughout the registration process. Now, if prospects don't want to call in, a lot of seniors and pre-retirees tend to think that all call centers are overseas. Ours are not, but that's not the point here, right? We give them the opportunity to register through a landing page if they don't want to call in. So they would go to ursvp.com, they plug in the little code that's on their mailer, it'll pull up your landing page. Instead of our logo up here, this would be your company logo. Then we've got the headline of what you're covering, dates and times that are upcoming. As I mentioned, this is the prefer a one-on-one, schedule the appointment on the landing page. You can leave that on or take it off, personal preference. Down below, we have details on what you're going to cover during the presentation. So this typically matches the marketing materials so that the prospect knows that they're in the right place. And then down below that, we have the bio and headshot of the presenter so that they can get accustomed to who you are, a little backstory on you and your experience in the business, and they're a little bit more comfortable to attend. Down below that, we've got your contact info, details on where the venue is, and if you need any disclosure or disclaimer listed, we will have that listed here as well. We also have a little opt-in box here that prospects can opt in or out of communication. This is more or less utilized on the Medicare side of the business. And this isn't the exact language, but we do have the ability to collect that permission to contact on the Medicare side. So through written consent, we can go ahead and capture that if the prospect decides to opt in. Now, if they don't opt in, you'll be able to identify that within the campaign. Since this is a test, I don't think it will show, but it would show opt-in accepted or opt-in not accepted somewhere right here. Now, let's look at the total number of registrations. We've got 74. And then we can get a breakdown of where each of the prospects are coming from over here on the right-hand side. So of that 74, we picked up 53 from direct mail, we got 17 from digital, and then we got 14 conversions from the email side of things. Now, I know this total does not equate 74. However, some prospects may register to the mail or the digital and also the email. So that's what this conversion number looks like. Now, if we click into a prospect record, we can start to get some additional insight into who they are and what they're made of. So we've got the prospect who registered. From there, we've got the guest down below, and we're going to identify the relationship of the guest, whether it's friend, family, significant other, brother, sister, whatever it may be. We don't ever want to just say, hey, one or two people is a single buying unit, because each situation could be a little bit different, right? So we'll identify the guest relationship and then kind of show you their contact info they provide at the point of registration. From there, we're able to tell you their demographic information. So 66 years of age, 1 to 2 mil of assets, income of 100 to 125,000. Down below, we've got home value. And then if we have any enhanced data on these prospects, we'll pull that information in down here below. So I'll give you an example here. In one case, for an advisor that I have in Texas who happens to be a big hog hunter, he noticed that somebody had an interest in hunting. With it being hunting season, the advisor said, hey, Bob, what do you have going on this weekend? Well, I'm going hunting. What about you? They hit it off at the event. The advisor was able to build some immediate rapport based off that enhanced data. And they ended up moving that prospect's $3 million portfolio within the coming weeks. And funny enough, they've been hunting together 3 or 4 times. So what we're trying to do with all of this data is enhance your ability to make immediate connections with these prospects, develop those relationships, and in turn, go ahead and, close that business a little bit easier. We do have some activity that goes out to the prospect automatically. So as soon as they register, they get an email reminding them of date, time, and location, to be on the lookout for another email that allows them to confirm attendance. The day before the event, they receive that confirmation email. If they don't respond to that by about lunchtime, we will send out a text message. So we'll try to confirm them 2 different ways automatically. We do recommend that you go through and confirm the rest of the folks that have not confirmed through our automated messaging. Our clients that do that typically see about 75 to 90% show rate. So it does go a long way to make those couple of calls for the folks that we're not able to confirm. Now, we'll jump into some real world examples here in a minute, but I do want to talk about the tailor-made side, the ready-made side as well. So on this platform, you're saying, hey, I want you to handle everything. I want to be hands-off. Here's the topic that I want. So we've got 3 topics that you can pick and choose from on that side. We've got Social Security, we have estate planning, and we have taxes and retirement. We have presentations pre-built, already compliant approved, that you can tap into. So we're going to book the venue. We're going to get the prospects to register. We're going to make sure that they're going to be in attendance. We have a confirmation call process as well built into our emails and text messages. And then you just show up and present. We have coaching classes that you can join pre-event, post-event. We also have access to Frank Maselli, which in my mind is kind of a seminar god, if you will. He's done several thousand seminars throughout his career and has helped several thousand agents perfect their process from opening to power statements to closing and setting appointments. So by being a client of ours, you have access to all of these tools and all of our resources. So you can jump on the phone with Frank, you can record your presentation, and he'll grade it for you. He'll tell you, hey, your baby's ugly. This is what you need to change in order to make this work. Or if you're a rock star, he'll tell you this is awesome, maybe tweak one or two things and go ahead and go on with your presentation. We will also put these folks into a drip sequence to ensure that they're going to attend. So the nice thing is we have 52 people registered here. If 20 people show up, you're only going to pay for the 20 people who show up, and you're going to get all of the rest of those prospects information post-event. So this really takes the risk out of throwing a few $1,000s at a marketing campaign and not necessarily knowing what to expect or what you're going to be paying. This takes those questions out of it. So for those of you who are risk averse, who are budget conscious, who just don't want to take that risk, this is a great program for you. Now, I'll show you kind of what the landing page looks like on that side. So, for example, this is a taxes and retirement campaign. So the one thing about these campaigns on the ready-made side is they are branded as kind of a community event. So we're not branding you or your business. So it's a little bit different than the custom crafted side, but it does work very well. So this is the landing page. They'd click on the Facebook ad. They're able to see what you're going to be talking about during the presentation, some additional body copy, some frequently asked questions, who's this for, is there a sales pitch, all of that jazz is pre-built on this landing page. So again, tell us date, time, and location that you'd like to present, where you'd like to present, geographically speaking. We will do the research and find the best performing venue for that topic, and then you just show up and present. So that's kind of the gist of both programs. Now, to talk about some real life experiences, I've got an advisor in New Jersey that works with senior market sales. He was primarily a Medicare producer prior to working with me. Now, he had always wanted to break through that barrier and go from not only being Medicare focused, but also be able to work on life insurance, annuities, LTC, premium financing. And he's also working on getting his securities licenses so that he can do assets under management. So we've worked together for 2.5 years now. Year one, he did 4 campaigns with me. The first one, he was a little trepidatious about and said, Nick, I don't know, man, throwing 4,000 or 5,000 grand at a campaign and not knowing what to expect is a little unsettling. So this was actually before the merger that we had with White Glove, where we could offer these ready-made campaigns where it's performance-based. So I had to do a little bit of coaching with him and hooked him up with some of the agents and advisors underneath SMS's umbrella that have had a lot of success in doing seminars. So between that referral that I made and kind of my coaching, we were able to get him to a 4x ROI after his first campaign. So let's say he spent $5,000. He made 25 grand in commission off of that campaign. So maybe that's a 5x, but taking out the initial investment, we're looking at a 4x positive ROI. With that being said, year one, in those 4 seminars that he did 1 per quarter. He ended up writing $8 million worth of fixed index annuity products. That does not include any of the life insurance products or premium. That does not include any of the Medicare policies that he wrote. So with that being said, he made a significant ROI in that first year. Now that advisor has scaled and does two different markets. Not only does he work in the New Jersey area, but he also rotates up to Maryland. So the nice thing is once you have the process down with doing these seminars, you can go ahead and expand into other areas where we can go in and look at what the response rate looks like for that campaign topic and say, hey, this would be an awesome area. It's underserviced, meaning there's not a lot of competition, and we tend to see a good ROI coming out of it. So we'll work together in those scenarios to help you not only focus on your home base, but also expand your business and be able to grow and scale at the level that you want and that you're comfortable with. Now, if you're comfortable with just maintaining your area and running a seminar once a quarter, once a month, or whatever it may be, totally fine. You don't need to expand or grow, but just know that that is a possibility, and we have real life experience in doing that. That advisor today is going to write $20 million worth of annuities this year. Year to date, he's already at $8 million. So he's done two. He's got his third campaign that's coming up here at the end of March. So he's done two seminars, two campaigns this year. And like I said, he's already written $8 million worth of fixed index annuities. So 6% on that is a nice check. I'm not even going to pretend that I can do that math quickly, even though I should be able to. Now, to talk on the Medicare side, I know there are a lot of you on this call that may be focused on purely Medicare. My background is in the Medicare space, the recruiting of Medicare agents. So with that being said, when I got to Acquire Direct in 2018, they had never done a single Medicare seminar. So I made it my mission to go out and figure out how to perfect that. Today, I do about 200 turning 65 workshops throughout the country each and every month. So we have tons of experience. I've got the process whittled down to be very finite, very little room for error. We're able to target the prospects that are turning 65 within a certain window of time so that you're able to get the good ROI from those prospects versus having a bunch of 65 plus year olds in your workshop that you can't do anything with until an SEP, OEP, or AEP. So happy to share, some of those tidbits with each one of you once we jump on individual calls. But those are two real life experiences that we have had here. Now, I know we're running a little short on time, so I'm going to jump into some of the integrations that we have. So we can set this system up to run the ads from your Facebook page if you're doing the tailor-made or the custom crafted side. You can sync up your calendar, whether it be Google, Outlook, Calendly, or Apple. So when prospects do want to schedule an appointment with you, they're able to do so at the dates and times that you have available. We also have the ability to integrate with a couple of CRMs, one of which is Lead Advantage Pro. So those of you who are with SMS that utilize that platform, you come in and activate it. And then anytime a prospect registers for any of your seminars, that information will automatically be passed into Lead Advantage Pro or whatever other CRM that you may be utilizing. So we want to, as you can see, give you transparency into who we're marketing to, who's responding, where the ROI is coming from, so that you can say, hey, Nick, let's go ahead and spend our money a little bit better. Or I'll say, hey, Bob, let's go ahead and reallocate your marketing dollars into this particular area because we know that it's performing better based off of the data that we have here for your campaigns, as well as thousands of other agents and advisors campaigns across the country. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and finish up here. Again, I'm Nick Schmidt with Acquire Up. Looking forward to reaching out and connecting with each of you. Olivia will go ahead and pass my contact information along. And just reach out.
That was incredible. Thank you again, Nick. And thank you to all who tuned in for today's webinar and submitted questions. Your time and participation is truly appreciated. I highly recommend that you reach out to Nick's team at Acquire Up. That information to contact him is in your chat right now. And you can also contact your dedicated SMS marketing consultant if you want to learn more about how senior market sales specifically can support your workshop efforts. And with that, it's a wrap. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time.